So yeah, number 10 to number 6.
All right. Now, number 10 is funny for me, and I'll tell you why. Number 10, My Delete Later from J. Cole.
Okay, all
It
right.
was, it was this
This
album.
should have been in my honorable mention, but I
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah.
The thing is, this album came out so long that you'd almost forget it came out this year. Because it feels like if it came out last year. That's one of the issues I almost faced with it. But with My Delete Later, what I did enjoy was one, the rollout, how we had the little videos and then the little snippets and whatnot, so giving you a little tease of the music. And then when he finally dropped the project, I won't lie to tell you, a lot of what I enjoyed on this was J. Cole rapping. Like J. Cole with bars, like what we expect from J. Cole, being a lyricist and whatnot. Um, Ready 24 with Cameron.
Oh, yeah, which is one of Ricardo's favorite songs. You love that because
Yeah.
he's a Dipset fan. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
One of my favorite songs on this is Hunting Rabbits. One of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
Because I know the source material they sampled from that Meat Canyon video. That very disturbing Meat Canyon video with Bugs Bunny.
Oh, I still haven't seen that. Yeah, I should look that
Okay,
up.
I should give a short history about that video, that particular video. It's a video that a guy made about Bugs Bunny being a predator and ready to abuse Elmer Fudd. And his dad stops him. And the voiceover was so good that Warner Brother claimed Mikanyon's video. So the big joke is, wait, if Warner Brother wants to claim this, that means is it canon that Bugs Bunny is a sexual offender?
Right. Interesting. Yeah.
So the whole fact that and this is the funny thing, yeah. So the original video, since it got claimed, it got taken down, so it got deleted. And that sample was chopped up. The little phrases was chopped up to make Hunting Rabbits, which is really funny. It was really funny to watch the creator of the original video react to Hunting Rabbits from J. Cole. Yeah, but that's one of my favorite songs. HYB with Bass and Central C. That one of the songs I had on replay. Fever. And this is one I was Stealth Mode. Oh yes, Stealth Mode, your club song, whatnot. But Pie with Absol and Delight.
Ooh, Absol, Dread. Absol on that beat though. Yeah.
Oh, that little back and forth they had. And little, well, I haven't heard Absol and Delight since on I think it was the These Days project where they had the little battle rap. No, correction, that try to remember if they had a track before. It'll come back to my memory. But Absol and Delight together is like art. So after here, Absol and Delight go back to back. Keep on wondering, how is J. Cole going to come in on this? And he did not disappoint. He managed to keep the bar because he realized those guys set a high bar, and he managed to stay up there. And my favorite song on the whole entire album was Trade Truth in Ibiza. But I thought that was a very cool song. Yeah, Trade Truth at the end doing his little monologue piece. But throughout from start to a point, it was a great track. Production was great, lyrics were great, and time to talk about the elephant in the room, which is partially what made this even funnier album to me. 7-minute drill.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yep.
And I remember having a conversation with Micwise about this. I told him one of the funniest things about this My Delete Later is that after, because I'm going to stay long on 7-minute drill, I'm going with what happened. The whole fact that he felt bad about making that song and deleted it makes the lore of this album so great to me. Because now he has this My Delete Later, and what happened, the last song on it, he deleted it.
Yeah, is the irony of it though.
Yeah. That's beautiful to me. All right, number 9, Alligator Bites Never Heals from Doechii.
I didn't get to listen to it.
Doechii is one of the biggest breaths of fresh air I've heard in hip hop this year.
Nice.
Doechii is like Because I remember when really when she first came out and I heard she signed a TD. But her sound when I initially it was more poppy, so I thought, all right, oh that
Yeah, that was on I Say Rashad's album, right? Yeah, that was why I first heard it. Yeah.
So I was like, all right, if that's the lane she's going to. So when I heard like can't remember which song they led with, but I ended up taking in the album and see how Tyler Creator, how he studied like he studied great like Missy Elliott and whatnot. He studied people he liked to help himself elevate his performance. No doubt Doechii did the same.
Right.
And there's a lot, I'll put it like this, a lot of female rappers try to go the whole, when Nicki Minaj had her reign, right? A lot of the new female rappers, they went with the look and the sex appeal, right? You know, the fancy wigs and whatnot. But nobody really caught on to try to emulate Nicki's rapping ability. That's why I love these some I'll say some of them they sound really cookie cutter. Though she sound like she came to stand out amongst everybody. She didn't come to be just another female rapper. She came to like stick her name. Hey, I am here, and I want everybody to notice this is the energy I am coming with because she's very energetic. And I think that's what's been lacking a lot in music today. Like the energy wasn't there for a lot of people, but with her, and then one of her most popular tracks now, Denial's a River, where she does the inner monologue with herself and the therapist and whatnot. She has the Nissan Altima, where she think she does the whole freestyle. Like Doechii with what CD is doing, they put in a lot behind her, and I see why. Because she shows that she is willing to try anything, and she is willing to work hard and go the distance. And what she's not slacking in is performance. And every great artist knows that when you reach that stage, your performance is what sells you. And for the most part, I don't want to give any spoilers for this album. So if you miss this album, go and listen. It's a mandatory listen. Like
right,
I would say Alligator Bites Never Heal is a mandatory listen. All right, number 8. Saying it's number 8 make it feel so low, even though like this could have easily been if other projects didn't come out with my album of the year. Soul Burger from Absol.
Ah boy, yeah. Why people's being so hard on Abs? Oh, sorry, why certain publications being so hard on the man? The man had to come and be like, why y'all not fucking with my album, Jay? Like,
and I'm on his side. I'm actually on Absol's side because
I understand.
Because I went back and listened to Herbert and I realized, wait now, it wasn't going back to listen to Herbert. Herbert never left rotation for me. So Herbert has been on rotation for me for 2 years.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Because Do Better is one of the best songs ever made. Yeah.
No, I mean it's a bop. It's a bop. I'll give it that. I really dug that track on the album as well too. But I listened to it when it was out like a few times, but I never like recapped it.
Yeah. But like Soul Burger, it's this whole thing where you realize from your conversation about Sky Zoo, this whole rapping in perspective. And this man, like, he decided, you know what, I am going to do fusion dance. I'm going to fuse my dead homie, and I'm going to become Soul Burger. I'm going to rap with my rapping capability with the temperament of Do Burger. That's why it's like Huey and Riley combined. And then he made this joke where he's like Gohan and Trunks fused, and then like the DB fans like, wait, but Gohan and Trunks never fused. Like, no, because you've never seen this before. That was the whole point. I think it's people forget that Absol's a very intentional rapper. Very intentional. One of the best with wordplay. And how he opened this up was so funny because 2 movie tracks. 9 Mile opened up with what's the sample for Belly? When the intro song for Belly.
Or however you want it.
Yeah.
Soul to soul.
And said that the next intention, like soul to soul, right? Soul to soul, Absol and Do Burger. Absol speaking to the soul of his past friend. Open it up like that, right? And then coming down to the end, You get the shook ones from 8 Mile.
Right, Shook One's part 2.
Right, shook ones part 2 from 8 Mile. And that's basically him giving off that energy. Like, he's just saying all his floors, playing all his floors out on the table, which makes a lot of references to Herbert. It's like this album to me felt like the second half of Herbert, if to call that, or a sequel to Herbert, because there's a lot of references, and even what I thought were references to the album, listening to I think some old albums I went back into, it's like, no, this album was like just Absol being as West Coast as he can. This was really a West Coast year. And he had a lot of great tracks on this. Bucko Jr., where I could say he did his one of the best Lil Wayne, I wouldn't say Lil Wayne impressions, but rhyming styles.
Right.
This dude for Bucko Jr., like, when you listen to it, like, okay, that is Lil Wayne's cadence. California Dreams with Vince Staples on the hook. They dropped the video fit recently. That was great. But they had the whole acapella rhyming piece from Cam Carson at the end was great. He always comment on Bob. He had one with Jason Martin and 2CP for all that. And with all that, like Kellan Keenan, because like the previous track ended with Welcome to Soul Burger, home of the Soul Burger. Can I take your order?
Can I take your order? Yeah.
All right.
I know, even though I didn't listen to the record, right? Forgive me. The moment I saw the title, I was wondering if they was going to reference Good Burger at all. So I'm glad to hear that he actually did. Yeah.
Yeah. He had track like Squeeze First, which he dropped, I think it was probably a week before the album dropped. But one of the craziest singles as him dropped was the one with JID, the Crazier. I know a lot of people think, but the hook is just crazier and crazier and crazier, and it builds up. And here JID goes in first. And the way anybody familiar with JID know how fast JID raps and the kind of pockets he gets into. That the Absol come after that. It's like whatever JID did, I was like, alright, cool. Let me see how I could, close that off. Because both of them were great on that. And then you'll come down to my favorite track, and people know why this is my favorite track. Peace with Lupe, Fiasco and Punch.
But of course, right?
Yeah.
Once you say Lupe, it's like, well, I mean, right? Yeah.
And it has one of my favorite hooks because like I Just Want Peace. The hook from Absol, I Just Want Peace. And I relate to that whole year. And Lupe spit his verse wordplay there. But there's something I was noticing about the way how Lupe raps here. I remind me of how he rapped on that track Pumpkin Seeds. It's like he raps when he's rapping on a feature with somebody and he's being abstract, it sounds like he's complimenting the rap style of that person. Because to me, Lupe rapped like how he think Absol would rap on a track.
Oh, okay.
Same way like he did on Pumpkin Seeds, he rapped like how A$AP Rock would rap, but he was rapping about the way A$AP Rock raps. As in this one, he did Sig. And the other surprise verse, which was probably one of the best verses, was because I wasn't sure whether it was AI, because I was still hearing Absol's voice, but Absol rapped in the perspective of Duburger. So it's like he's talking to himself, rapping to himself from the perspective of Duburger about what happened, what he spoke about in his last album, how he tried to commit suicide and whatnot. And Duburger's like, tell him, yo, get yourself together. Like, I'm glad you end up in a casket. And he's like, hug my knees for me and all that stuff now. And then you had Punch it close off that. You have a more uplifting song, Sky is Limitless. And he closed off with Righteous Man, which is kind of like an ode to Nipsey Hussle. But yeah, I really enjoyed Soul Burger. So I went long because that's like one of those projects like I really enjoyed. Almost could have been my favorite for the year. But moving on to number 7, Blue Lips, Schoolboy Q.
Boy. TDE, boy.
Yeah.
keep that TDE train going. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think really I could add on to what you said about like being a more mature album from Schoolboy Q. It's like it's mature, but it's still kept with this kind of child flair that he has. That he could, I could be serious here, but I could still reminisce on when I used to be wild outside and whatnot. Like, We saw it's like Year in 101, Thank God for Me, he had all those, boppy tracks. Blue Slides is a more mature, reflecting on life or how I got here. And one of my favorites, which I'll come back to this artist in the future, movie. Because I don't know
Oh,
what. I
that
don't.
beat, boy, is so
Yeah.
pure West Coast, sir.
And then it's how it started off because it it's Easy Check. I'm trying to remember. It's Easy Check. Yeah, yeah, that's how it's pronounced. It. Easy Check with the first verse. Well, we see he hears most of the song, and I'm glad like Schoolboy could give him time to shine here, because we have another verse to talk about this later on in this review. But yeah, like Blue Lips came out early this year. Very great Sonics. Glad Schoolboy Q still put out music, especially coming off a Crash Show, because I went back and listened to Crash Show. I think probably I was too hard on it when it just came out, because there's a lot of songs I liked on it. It just probably the timing probably of when it came out, it wasn't really received well. But I went back to Crash Show and it was good, and I can say Blue Lips is, I say it's up there with Blank Face in terms of
Hmm.
Schoolboy Q's discography. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out if for the cover, if that's Layla on the cover, which is another West Coast album I missed this year that I have to go back to. And number 6, been waiting to talk about this one, Shadow Box from Marvy.
Hmm.
Now, this is a very important album for Marvy because I covered Marvy's other projects in the past, but I think this one kind of pushed him a little more to the mainstream. Marvy is known for his more poetic approach to hip hop, because he usually raps on, really tame melodic beats, or probably a more alchemist kind of, tempo beat. So on this project, there's a lot of themes on religion, and not so much on, I could say, like, it's about him looking at himself, his life, and how his decisions affect people when it comes to relationships, when it comes to how he lives his life, how it affects his family. Because 20,000 Leagues sounds like somebody, looking at themselves and wondering if God still sees them when they call to him. And he's hoping, like, somebody calls back. And throughout it, there's these whole themes of baptism and praying. And one of my favorite songs on this is I'm So Tired. It's something about how the verse start off. Today, my grandma turned 80. I'm off 3 Percocets. I ain't even eat yet. Flipping through the chicken, my fingertips get seeing red. Yet Benjamin, them crippin'. I can't make it make sense. I just try to make peace. I'm rolling with this 30 like looking with Dave East. I was like, yo, they like rolling 30s, Davies, the crippin' bars, fingertips seeing red. Like he's making all these references, but he's just talking about when he says, my AMG swerving, I was worthless in the same streets. Because he's not really a street person. Though he's making all his gang references. I made it out. I ain't too worried if they claim me. Mainly if we co-parent this pain, prefer you hate me. He's a guy, like, he's really sitting down and watching a lot of stuff he's done. The Giver. It's another song that it speaks about you're not sure whether you were wrong in the relationship or if it's you're doing the right thing by letting it go. Because as much as you love somebody, if like his whole thing that he's looking at is he think he's done right, but if he's not getting like the feedback that he's doing right, you're wondering whose fault it is. So that's why he's asking her to just make it make sense to him. The one line that really hit me is like when he says in the hook, just make it make sense to me. Am I such a stain to you, mistake to you? You can't erase history. Everything I ever gave you, he's gaining from. You're making plans benching me. I was crazy making you wait on me. I'm late, but I didn't think you'd take shifts from me.
Ooh, I felt that. I felt that. Yep.
Yeah, it's like he's dealing with the guilt of certain decisions he's made in life. And a lot of it is like him trying to come to terms with what he's done and where he goes from there. Because one of the other hard hitting song on this is Drunk Prayer, which uh, I don't have to go into detail, but just from the title, you can see like he's really going into this whole, even though he's talk and he said himself that because he's made all his references, he says people can interpret it how they want because it throughout it sounds like he either talking to God, talking to himself, or talking to God within himself. Probably that's why he call it shadow box, because shadow box is you fighting with your own shadow, and basically that's what he's doing throughout this whole track in hopes to find himself. And Marvy is more of those, more poetic lyricists. So that was like this has been like one of these, let's say, nice lyrical listens. It's like going through a book of poetry with some, nice music playing in the background. But a lot of stuff is really relatable to anybody who's been through, rough relationship with family, with partners and whatnot. And that's how it managed to make it up there to my number 6 on this list.
Yeah. All right, lovely. Okay, so allow me to do my top 5, and you could close things off with your top 5, man. Might as well, right? Yeah. So this is where things are going to get a little historical here, right? So for the first time ever, there are 2 albums on my top 5 list that are from Trini artists, because usually it's always one artist, it's always the artist that always usually shows up in my top 5, but in this case this year I'm happy to say that there are 2. So yeah, number 5, I just shout out Micwise by For Family Tradition. This was a record where I know it's probably just a challenge for him to do, but like I said, with your take on Rhapsody's Please Don't Cry, it's one of those things where you just had to get off of his chest before he moves forward, right? And you could tell, boy, this is probably his most personal record to date. Just the stuff that he was talking about, and always related it in terms of family and friends, like almost like how there's this like running thing going on where this relatives is pretty much saying, you have all this burden inside of you, get off your chest, right? But he's doing the exact thing that person is saying he should do, and yet it's distancing. They are distancing themselves from him because it's like it's too much. Like, we didn't need to hear all this. Like this is what you really think about us, and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, yeah, this is the stuff that has pretty much propelled him. Pretty much pushed him to be an artist in the first place, right? The stuff that pretty much fuels his work, right? Whether it's religion, whether it's politics, whether it's just capitalism, and he even goes a little bit deeper into his past as well. Just digging up all the dirt that was inside of him and just really putting it out there and saying, look, if you really want to understand me, this is the record where you really understand me. This is who I am. But at the same time, it's not like, okay, it's out there, what do I do? It's like, all right, it's out there, yes, but let me move forward now, because all they see who I am right now, right? And it almost kind of refuels him at the same time, right? So the same thing that wears him down, now that it's out of him, it kind of gives him the motivation to keep moving forward, right? It's a tough listen, don't get me wrong, it's a tough listen. Even if you casually listen to his music, there is content in it that will upset you in some way, shape or form, but it's not done in such a way that it's supposed to like turn you off the album or anything like that. It's just like, look, this is all the burdens that are just getting off of my chest right now, as I was told to do in the intro, and hear this, right? So at the end of the day, I just applaud Micwise for just putting out a project like this, right? Pretty much saying, like, look, if you call yourself a fan and you just don't like this record, because I know, like, when artists, like, I'll throw a perfect example, like Kendrick Lamar when he did Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. There's a lot of people I know, like, I don't like when you get all personal and deep. Like, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear about your struggles and your confessions. I don't want to hear this, because you feel bad inside. You feel like you're hearing things like you're not supposed to hear. But sometimes it's like, look, like, if you really want to know me, if you really rock with me as an artist, you'll understand why I'm doing this. You'll understand why. It's not to alienate. It's not like I'm trying to alienate myself from all this. It's like, look, I want you to really understand who I am, Jordan. This is exactly what Micwise did here, right? And I applaud his bravery for this. And yeah, out of this, we got a top 5 album out of this, right? Mm-hmm. So number 4, it's kind of obvious. Chromatics, Hammer and Chisel. Boy, this man came back after 8 years. I mean, I'm not saying like he wasn't putting out work over the past 8 years. And yeah, out of this, he put out what is, in my opinion, his best album. He still sounds energized. He still sounds, like you could tell like he's in this element here, right? It's like he just never missed a step with this, right? The production choices here, just the lyricism was on point. I just love the sequencing of this record as well, right? Where it starts off with the grimier tracks like Bitter Part 2, and then it just kind of goes into like, the bops and, the jams where you can kind of kick back and enjoy yourself, right? And then it just ends with a truly heartfelt tribute to his late mom, Dread. You know what I mean? And as somebody who lost his mom as well, like, yeah, this one hit many feels as well, right? But again, it's Chromatics showing that in 2024, I still got it. Don't write me off because I'm veteran. Like I ain't as young as I used to be. Like, nah, the man still show that he have that capability to put out, just top notch like songs, right? The man just came through, shut shit down, did what he had to do, and just prove why he is one of the goats when it comes to just Trinbagonian rap, right? So yeah, salute to Chromatics, man. You really came through here with this record, right? So Hammer and Chisel number 4. So my top 3, boy, this was kind of rough here, boy, because I kind of had my 1 and 2 as they were, and then that album just sort of just dropped out of nowhere, just literally out of the blue. That's my biggest hint right here. I was like, oh, now to redo everything now. Oof, okay. And this is where we at. So, number 3, I'd give to Lupe Fiasco, Samurai.
Yep.
This was an album that I was excited for when I heard that lead single and I heard that beat from Soundtrack, boy. When I heard that beat, I was like, yep, this is the album I'm absolutely gonna love. I just love that beat. That song, Samurai, is one of my favorite songs of the year. That boy, that just swims in your brain, boy, and it just chills you, boy. Like it's food for the soul. Like every time I hear that beat, though, and just Lupe just doing what he did on that, boy, I loved it, right? But I didn't have idea what he was gonna do on that, right? Especially given the album name Samurai, right? So I love the fact that right as this album dropped, boy, the man just started promoting this dojo. I think that is his dojo. So like he started putting up these pictures on IG with him, literally with a katana, dread, like showing off moves, dread. Like, dog, you're not playing, dread. Like, yeah, you are legit samurai, dread. Look, I fucks with that. I love that, right? But conceptually, because yes, this is a concept album, I love that it springs from this random voice note that the late great Amy Winehouse left to Salam Remy, basically talking about, doing battle raps for you, and just using that to make this, this concept album about being an artist, right? So he starts off as this battle rapper and, he's decimating MCs, but now he reached a point where it's like, wait, so that's it? That's all I was gonna do is just battle rap all my life? Nah, man, I had to do something. I had to put my work out there. I had to create art, right? But I love how Lupe also gets a little personal with his artistry as well, right? Like, yeah, well, do people understand what I'm saying? Like I have to dumb it down, like what he say way back in the cool. Like I had to dumb it down. I don't like dumbing down shit, I don't like doing mumble rap. That's why he do a song pretty much poking fun at mumble rap, right? And that's the second track, right? Even going further, saying, look, like when I did and going, people could really understand. People could really look back at what I say and really gain some kind of meaning or truth from it. You know what I mean? So I love like where he's at in his life, though. He just able to explore all that stuff and not really give us answers, but just kind of come to his own truth, like his own conclusion to things, right? And just sort of leave it to the audience, like, look, you find your own truth as well, right? But at the same time, framing it from the concept of just being the samurai who has to fight to prove his worth, and then reaching to a point where it's like I done fighting, dread. So when I done fighting, what else it have for me, But other than that, though, Lupe just came through with the, again, it's just what we know from him, just dense, intricate wordplay as well. And it's to the point that, I know you'll bring it up. Mm-hmm. You could always go back to each song and be like, oh, I didn't pick up on this, right? So whether it's something like Cake or, Number One Headband, which I know is one of Ricardo's favorite songs as well, right? That beat, like, god damn, I love that beat, right? Yeah, there's just so much layers to what is this 30-minute concept album, right? And it's from Lupe as well too, right? But yeah, absolutely love this record, right? But this would have been number 2 if it wasn't for that surprise album, and you all know what it is, I talked about it. Yep, Kendrick Lamar, GNX. Yeah, boy. This man just decided on a Friday. Yeah, boy. I'm gonna drop an album and then boom. Look, Friday afternoon, we just didn't mind my own business. So like, fuck it. Look at album, throw that, right?
I was like, work. I was going home. I was like, wait, what's this? What's this?
Yeah, because man had the goal to put out a teaser trailer for it. I start sharing it with people, and I realized, oh shit, the man actually dropped the album like right after. Like, oh fuck, not so much when I listened to it, and I did, and yeah, I mean, if it's one album that kind of encapsulates 2024 hip hop, is this record here, boy. Because it's the victory lap now for Kendrick, winning the beef over Drake, right? But also him kind of questioning his placement right now in today's hip hop landscape, right? Like, will I be considered a GOAT, when time passes on, right? Or am I the shit now, but will I be the shit later on and all that kind of stuff? And just even more importantly, like, why I get roped into this in the first place, right? Or even more, like, why I put myself into this in the first place, right? So I love that it does tap into the whole competitive nature of rap, right? Which was what Samurai touched on as well, right? But I felt like GNX went even deeper into it, right? Because they're just about AI better than Drake, and it's all about, look, it's about legacy, it's about people looking back 5-10 years from now and calling me a GOAT. That's what it is, right? Like I said in my review, if that means I had to go toe to toe with a man, like with one of the biggest rappers in the world, I will do that to her. If I will do what it is I had to do to win this year, it is about hip hop. But you could say it's about hip hop, but it's also about him too, right? So it's that duality that I love about this record, right? But boy, there was so much great tracks in this, right? Whacked Out Murals, of course, which had people talking, especially with that little jab that he did at Wayne's. Like, oof, that what we doing here? Squabble Up, great single as well too. I love the video fit. But for me, of course, two highlights for this, right? Hard Part 6, which was like the great answer to Drake on a Sunday night. They're saying, look, just I taking this L, right? All right, fuck it, I taking the L. This is the track pretty much saying I'm taking the L, right? I'm done. Look. And come back now, Kendrick come back and say, look, I gotta dedicate this to Black Hippie. I gotta dedicate this to the people who put me into this position, right? Even though I'm not with them anymore, in a sense. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, Dread. So powerful, so heartful, right? But of course, the big takeaway from all of this is a little track called TV Off. That second half. And Mustard with the horns and that Mustard. Boy, I hear that and I just like I don't even dance or whatnot, boy, but like I will be doing some kind of crip walk or some equivalent to Dread. Like the moment I hear it play, and I call this one time when you do that Super Bowl performance. That's what he gonna close it off with. That's what you're gonna close the set off with.
It was tailored for that.
It was tailored for that. That's why the horns sound the way they do, boy. And yes, I will be watching that shit live. This is the same way I was there live to watch Usher do his thing this year. I will be watching that shit live. I'll be waiting for TV Off to close that set. And believe you me, that Mustard, I will be there shouting that like to the heavens, once Kendrick says that, boy. But yeah, Kendrick came, shut shit down with this, boy. I can't be mad at this, right? And from a number one, take a little breather with this, right? No other album. Right, so I'll put it like this, right? Last year, hip hop turned 50, right? And I think from that, a lot of vets kind of look at that and be like, here's what. Our time on this earth isn't done as yet, we still have great music that we could put out, Like, yeah, we're 50s right now, but we could still put out great bodies of work, stuff that really, showcase who we are as artists, right? And as GOATs, if you want to call them that, right? And for me, this album fully embodied that, right? And for me personally, right, I know that this is not an album that will resonate with like Gen Z hip hop fans or whatnot, unless they are students of the game. If they are, then great, right? But for somebody who grew up on these artists, right, for someone like me in particular, who listened to the main artists' work, as in his albums, on Sunday nights, right? I just used to like listen to that stuff, and it just used to like just calm my soul, right? Because I just love what he did on those classic records, right? If you told me in 2024 that this man was going to team up with one of the greatest producers ever, Trent, I put out a record, I'd be like, wait, he didn't do this before? He didn't do this in the 2000s? And I went back. I was like, no, they never did this. They never did this, right? So it feels like a throwback album. It feels like something that he would have put out in the 2000s when he was like riding high off of his success of our albums like B and Finding Forever. But it's like, no, this is the first time collaborating on an actual album thread. And it's the best thing I heard all year. You all know it is. Common and Pete Rock, the Auditorium, Volume 1. And I am happy to say that they announced it. There will be an Auditorium Volume 2 coming up next year. And I'm excited as all hell for that, boy. Common just sounds so rejuvenated, though. What I love about the record, too, is a celebration of hip-hop, it's a celebration of the things that we love about hip-hop, right? And like I said in my review, right, which I did with Ricardo, right? It's like if they just pulling from this well of black excellence and black music and hip-hop as well, right? So you're just pulling from all these things, right? And just crafting all these great songs, though. Like, there's no skip on this, right? Every song is great, whether it's Dreaming, whether it's, Fortunate, which has a great vocal sample. I love how Pete Rock flipped that, creating the actual title of the track. I love how he did that, right? Getting Bilal to come with a great hook on the track, So Many People, which to me felt like a continuation, like a sequel, like a spiritual sequel to I Used to Love Her. I absolutely love that track, right? The moment I heard Wise Up, that was the lead single, I was like, all right,
yeah,
this album is for me. In the sense that, yes, it's grown man hip-hop music. That's what it's
yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, if you call yourself a student of the game, if you call yourself a fan of hip-hop, boy, you will love this. You will love everything about this, right? Pete Rock did not disappoint on them beats, though. It goes back to what he does, sampling soul and jazz. He loves horns, right? He's famous for that, right? And all he incorporate that into the mix, right? Last thing I must say, right? This album features what is, in my opinion, the best song of 2024, in my humble opinion, right? I didn't expect to love this song so much, but the more I heard it, and the more, like, there's songs that kind of embody who you are. Like, it just plays in your mind, and it just kind of moves you, like the way how you step, the way how you move, right? Like, just normally. It's almost like the song is playing, and it just gives you that step, it gives you that bounce, right? You see the song, All Kinds of Ideas. Sorry. That is it for me. There's something about that bop, though, just the horns and that. And what I assume is either, I think it's Bossa Nova. I think that's the track that's the kind of music that he's pulling from for the sampling, right? Boy, that instrumental is one of the, like, that instrumental, Pete Rock doing the first verse and Common on the second verse, boy, is perfection in my opinion. I absolutely love that song, boy. But it's just that beat, it just gives me that extra pep in my step, if you will, right? But I absolutely love that song, and yeah, I totally love this album, right? I could gush on this album for days, but I did a review of it. I'll put it in the description here. But yeah, the Auditorium Volume 1 is my top favorite album of 2024. And yeah, boy, I cannot wait for Volume 2, boy. This was an album that needed to happen, and this needed to happen. This was for the culture, this was for the Common fan in me, this was for the Pete Rock fan in me, and I am so grateful to be alive just so I could say, yes, I heard this album and it changed my life, and it's my favorite album of the year. That's all I have to say. Right. So yeah, you're 5-1.
All right. Now, this might actually come out as a surprise. My number 5 is actually Samurai from Lupe Fiasco.
Okay, so for 2 questions. One, why so low?
Yeah,
that's a couple of years ago where you had Drill Music and Zion as the number 1.
Yeah.
And secondly, because I was teasing you with it before we even met up here, right?
Yeah.
I assume you did check out my review of
Yeah.
it where I
Oh,
gave my thoughts on what I assumed the record was, right? And I think I mostly knew what the album was about, right?
yeah.
But again, the
Like,
beauty of the album is that you listen to it, it's like, wait, it could be about this too. It could be about something else, right? But yeah, what do you think about my thoughts in it, and
oh,
what is your take on what is going on that album?
I agree with a lot of what you said because there's it. He had the idea to do this, right? Okay, he's going to make this album about this idea of Amy Winehouse become a battle rapper. But how Lupe thinks, and this will go back to a lot of what we've spoken about these different albums this year about rapping from perspectives. Because we saw a lot of that this year. So it with Sky Zoo. So it with Absol. Seeing it here again with Lupe. The thing about this album is even with the team, you see on the cover it's himself as the samurai. And he's
Yes.
been having his swords and whatnot. So and you're right, at the same time as this is about the story of this lady who she wants to be this big R&B singer or the singer in the Apollo. And for some reason, she meets this strange person and becomes a battle rapper. And everybody's amazed by her talent and whatnot. And well, you're the album, so the story. And at the same time, Lupe is given his perspective on the art form, his perspective on what it is to be an artist, and things that he personally had to deal with. Like the song Mumble Rap. This is the funny thing about in the technicals of Mumble Rap, just the title alone, right? Because would you agree that it's a boom bap song?
Beat wise, yes,
Yeah,
it has a boom bap vibe to it. Yes.
Yeah, but it's also mumble rap because he's actually mumbling the chorus.
Yeah, the banana, 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 like
Yeah.
the song say. Yeah, you're right.
So it's a boom bap song and mumble rap because it's literally mumble rapping.
Yeah.
So it is what it isn't. Same thing with what he said. You reach cake yet? Did he do it or didn't she? Yeah.
Yeah. That was a line that I quoted in my review. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's doing two things at once, giving you one random story of idea of what could have been. At the same time, he's telling his life, his story as an artist, which is probably what he thinks she went through as well as an artist. This whole thing of trying to be this, and then you have your own, because the thing is Amy Winehouse had her own demons to deal with. And the thing is, a lot of these artists have their own personal things that they have to get through around putting out the art that the people want. And so that's why like one of my favorites, like in that topic, one of my favorite songs on this project happen to be Pulses. Well, like for some reason my favorite songs on this album are the low tempoed ones. Like for the first verse for thing, Lord please bless my cast of sand, waiting on a battle sword handling all in my hand. The war forces more towards my door with demands more important than fortune that you poured in my pan. From freestyling to record in advance, like all this stuff our artist has to go through. The thing that they have to do to build themselves up as an artist that gets overlooked because once they're in the battle now, right? Two artists could battle each other, somebody would lose. And the thing is that's how in that field of battle rap is a battle and people remember the winners. So going where Lupe is also reflecting on what does he want from this, and that's how we go on to the number one headband because you want your art to be worth it in the end.
Right.
Go on to number one headband. It is the more braggadocious song. Bigfoot is more of a, let's say, we coming down to the kind of not so glamorous aspect of this artist's life. With extra OCD and paranoia, every single piece and part, a piece for the hearts to rest, a rest in peace to art. And normally these things that you would keep inside your head, but you realize you were singing this instead. It's how
Yeah, that's the second verse. Yeah.
die for Bigfoot because it's how it ties in. I'm going to go it outside because outside is my second favorite song on this. So,
I love the beat for that though. That's how down tempo it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't go into after it's about waiting, finish a battle now. It's where do you go on from here, right? But there's the funny thing what I like about this hook, and the one reason why I don't like the name of the song is because there's a Lupe also has another song called Outside. It's a whole different. It's a trap song, different kind of tempo. But this Outside, what is catch me is the hook, because when you know who he's rapping about, what he's rapping about, the whole theme of wait for me outside, I'll be cool. Wait for me outside, put him on hold. I'll be there in a minute. Just wait for me outside. I'm calm, but I'm finished. That sounds like something you'll say, I've done all what I need to do in life, and when I come to heaven, I hope you greet me at the pearly gates.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't even think about that, Wow.
It's like a message to Amy Winehouse. Like, after, like...
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's like, gone through this whole story that she wanted, that could have been her story if she was a battle rapper. And after you go through this whole process of making that piece of work, it's kind of like, when you're emulating somebody, you kind of understand them a little better. Which is kind of like what he did to Royce and Beef. But anyway.
yeah, you're right.
When he's emulating her, it kind of feels like he felt close to her. And that's why when the last song, Till Eternity,
Till Eternity.
Like, when if you, like, see the hook like that, Till Eternity is where he's saying, like, this is how I see myself as an artist from what I do. It's like, from how I carry myself, what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to get out of this, and understanding that, sometimes this life is taken from us fast, but all we have, what will live on from us, is our art. Like, what if we were dancers? And, like, dancing is another form of art, but, like, it's like, and I remember Lupe, this whole joke, but, like, when he was blackballed, he couldn't even back up dance. That's how much he has blackballed. Like, remember, these two were of the verbal art, and this course is what if we were dancers. Like, after you take Amy Winehouse and put her from a singer to a battle rapper, but you put her back into you doing that while singing on the last song, Bigfoot, then to come back, you realize the art is what lives in all of us. So if you were dancers, would we still be considered the artists that we are because of the music we make? Because dance is still an art. So they don't realize till eternity the art will live on. So that's why I really enjoyed that album. So and there's only one reason why it managed to make it like that low in my list, in my list, because other the albums that came out this year, the ones that more higher up, it's either I felt something really strong with it or had a little more replay value. Because number 4 was Family Tradition. And
nice.
I could tell you, well, as you mentioned before, why it was very personal on this album. I think it's not that he hasn't been personal before, it's on his other projects, he gives you like probably a 1 personal song or 2 personal songs. He spreads it out. But it's always surface level, like something that, somebody could relate to and whatnot. But like, is on this one, he got really deep and personal. So it's one where I wouldn't really replay much songs, but when it comes to like the artistry of this song, because one thing I always say, Wise doesn't get lazy when it comes to bars. Like, no matter what he does, he doesn't get lazy with it. He doesn't phone it in. So, like, I told him this person, like, this moved him up to one of my top 5. This project moved him up to one of my top 5 rappers.
Nice.
Yeah, because, like, he could still do the whole personal thing and have a lot of punches and some very creative punchlines. It may not be hate 68 because I still have that as magnum opus, but this and the kind of I would say chances he took too. Because with the first Feel the Pain, the kind of more melodic hook
Yeah.
that he took on that. And I try to remember which other song that he was actually singing on the hook. Because this was something like
That would be Monsters and Spirits.
right, Monster Spirit. Because this is him being personal, coming out of his comfort. Well, I wouldn't. It's hard to say because you have to come out of your comfort zone to put those stuff on the table.
Yeah.
But he also doing that by trying different sounds, like sounds you never heard them tackle before, or to that degree. Coming down is like Sin and Seaman. I like how he structured like those to flow into each other. Penny's talking about the hardship of being an artist.
Yeah.
But I tell you, one of my favorite songs, and I'm glad he put this out as a single, was Culture Part 2.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. I should mention one of my favorites of the year as well. Yes.
Yeah, because this song spoke on some of the hypocrisy I just have with myself when it comes to creating art and the perspective that people don't like to talk about. And this is the thing about Micwise. Micwise will hop on topics that people don't want to talk about. That's why I really appreciate that he's very unapologetic with some of his approaches and some of the topics he chooses to address. Because the whole thing about how people they like the music, but they don't like the people that make the music. They have a certain stigma against them, and I myself just be conflicted in censorship. The messaging you put out, because messages that you put out actually do, I believe, it does influence the way of thinking. But then there's also teaching people to separate the art, treat art as just art. So there's a lot of topics that could come from that song in particular, but it's topics that people have been shied away from for a good while now, or try to overlook. And I'm glad Micwise is the type of rapper that would take these topics and bring it to the forefront in his music. Because there's nothing more to add than what you said before, because it's up there in my top 5 for a reason. A lot of bars, a lot of themes to explore, and a lot of the things that he tapped on are very relatable with myself as well. So that's why I had it up there as number 4. Yeah, Micwise beat Lupe on this one. All right.
Imagine that, huh?
yeah. Tell it, the man moving. All right. Number 3, I have Chromacopia, Tyler the Creator.
Nice.
One thing I could say is Tyler does not go cheap when it comes to his production. Started off great.
Yeah.
Ratata was a good open. Well, yeah, it's the same crowd, but Ratata, like when it started over a lot of the hype, going into Noid, and he had that whole run with the Darling I Hate G and I Killed You on Judge Judy. That whole run was great. Then the standout Sticky, one of the most banger tracks on the project.
Yeah.
And the whole fact that he juxtaposed it to getting violent and also getting sexual.
Yes.
That whole juxtaposition was real funny. You take your mask off, a lot of these personal tracks. And for Bruno Dochi, it was great to see Dochi and Tyler together, because both of them have an energy that I think the hip hop game kind of really needs right now. That's why I think I could look forward to Tyler dropping next year again. But I think he's doing the whole 2-year thing. I'm not sure, but Chromacopia.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be going on tour next year, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I think he's currently on tour already too. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, great project.
Oh, I forgot to mention 2 tracks, right? Thought I Was Dead, great track. I absolutely love that. I love the horns for that in particular.
Yeah.
And then of course that hook, right? And then like him though, a deeply personal and genuinely like beautiful though, you know what I mean? And his singing works, but is really the piano that he does, the piano playing though, that really adds so much to it, right? Especially the performative way how he does it and how he sings. When you listen to it, especially in the first verse, when you hear it, it's almost like he is performing this at a concert or something like that, right? But yeah, it's like, I didn't know you had this in you, bro. Okay.
Yeah. I think my favorite track on it was Darling I, because with the I'm a
Or with the kind of glistening 90s R&B vibe. Yeah,
Yeah,
darling. Yeah.
and yeah,
It's a nice throwback song. It's
Yeah.
a nice throwback song. Yeah.
Yeah, Chisel, because to me, I really like Chisel touchdown.
Oh yeah,
Whereby,
Tizo on the outro, boy. Ooh,
yeah,
I didn't know he had it like that, but wow. Yeah.
my vocals. All right, moving on to, well, this almost became number one. It was one of your honorable mentions, but Dark Times from Vince Staples
But of course.
came out early in the year. And for someone that's been following the Vince Staples drops and been enjoying everyone after the next,
Sorry. Could I stop you for a bit, right?
yeah, but
Please tell me you watched the Vince Staples show.
yes, of course. Watching the Vince Staples show is parts and parcel of understanding this album a little bit better.
Okay, you find so? All right. Because I watched that like a few months before jumping into Dark Times, so I didn't bother to like compare the two.
No, it's not a direct comparison, but they just say there's some references that you kind of like you'll get it. Like if you go through the album again and you just think about different episodes, like okay, I get it. Opening with Black and Blue, like this whole samba. Da-na-na, so black and blue. Yeah, that the hook, the pre-chorus, everything. It gave it the tone that it wasn't gonna be like a FM where it's all that poppy and whatnot. So you already set the mood already with Black and Blue. Then we go on into Government Cheese, more life stories and whatnot. Because basically, as I said, with his last project, which felt like the end credits to this whole how to say Rosecrans story, his Long Beach story, and this is just continuing that, but he's bringing up a lot of stuff about himself and how he views outside. Because when you're in I think it's like when for him it's like when you're in a situation and you get removed from that situation, now you reflect on how you were when you were in it. Because I'll put this on verse 2 of this Government Cheese. It's like I got a call the other day from my partner on the 4-yard in Pelican Bay. Popped his pistol once, and then people put him away. I promised him he would never get to see the light of day. Promised him they'll never. Asked how I was. Said he seen me on ABC. Told him I was good. Wondered if he believed. Couldn't tell him the truth. What kind of homie would I be knowing these 15 minutes is the only time that he free? Because this is one of his friends that he grew up with. Now his friend in jail tell him, hey, I see you on TV, you're doing big. That time he has his own problems going through. He glad he makes it on TV, but your friend is calling you and you don't want to offload on your friend about the things you're dealing with because he's in jail. And his hype is because you doing good. He glad to talk to you on the phone to know you doing good, so you don't want to give him bad news. So, but the thing is, he also reflecting he could have been in that position. He's in a situation that he doesn't have to be in the same situation, that they could be on the other sides of the phone, where he could be the person locked up. So it's this whole thing of after you remove from a certain situation, you're reflecting on your life, like how it could have gone worse for you. I like the hook in children's song. Because children's song is basically like, you bounce to that old friend from back in the day and they're trying to make small conversation and you're really not with it. And this was one of my favorite hooks for this hour. Like, don't play it my crippling, go play it your kids, bitch.
Yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
Don't play it. Yeah, because like, I know very like monotone Vince Staples is. That's Share Money Devil, which was one of the earlier tracks that he came out with, which kind of also, I'm glad he opened up as that being one of the opening singles. So it already gave you, right, there's a kind of dark tone that's going with. But the best song, and this is so funny for me because with the Lupe project, I tell you, I love most of the downbeat songs. And this song, my favorite song, was the most upbeat song, Etouffé. If that's what it's pronounced.
Okay.
Yeah, because the hook, I've been singing this hook in again, my Marsha Crash Lion and them dirty ass apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bounce. No, I
Yeah.
love the bounce to that track.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The and the part where it had the like little bridge, and you think like that's where the song ends, and then just near the intro, and then it starts back with one of my favorite lines. I don't need your flowers, I'm living. First time I seen $1 million, I squinted.
Hmm.
Because like this right here is like, because he knows like, he's only bring flowers to his dead homies. That's why
Yeah.
in his song Rose Street, because I love Rose Street, so he say, what? Like, you only flowers he bringing is to the graves. Like, so he don't, and he's a person like, even though when he does stuff, he's not good at taking compliments. So that's why he's like, I don't need flowers, I'm living. The first time he seen $1 million, I squinted, because he never thought, Vince Staples did not want to be a rapper.
Oh, really? Okay. I don't know much of his backstory, but I didn't know it was like that though. Okay.
Oh, I could give you the short story. He just used to be in studio with he was friends with Sid. So he used to be in the studio when Odd Future was recording, but he was just there. He was really friends with Tyler directly. He became friends with Tyler afterward, but he was friends with Sid. And it was it's Mac Miller who encouraged him to make music, because Mac Miller was the one who used to give him free beats and come to pick him up to carry him to go and record and whatnot. That's how he and Mac became friends. His story is very similar to Schoolboy Q's own. Like, they didn't really intend to make music, they just made it and just happened to be good at it that people like them. And yeah, hey, I could make money off this. These guys who just happened to be good, that didn't really know that this is an avenue they could have took. And that's why even in Schoolboy's album, like, it's more reflective of, I did not know where this is where I could have been. So it's like this. Well, saying that this is the last album from Def Jam. It have songs like Justin, which is a funny story about, relationships.
It's funny, but it's real awkward shit too. It's like,
yeah,
like I didn't need this though. Like, come on.
Yeah. They have Radio, which is reminiscent of. I'll skip that about this because I want to go into my other favorite song of this project, Lil Homies.
Oh, I love that song. That is inspirational shit.
Yeah,
I love that.
A very positive song. Yeah, it's still gangsta, whatever, but it's a very positive song. Because there's one of these songs like I'll keep in rotation because I love hearing it. He still raps about some gang stuff, but he just like no, the other ways. So I'm glad like he still have the awareness that yes, I rap about a bunch of stuff in the past. Now he in the reflective mode where it's like I was listening interview G Hubo. So imagine from G Hubo's mouth, he's like, these kids don't need to be in this gangster stuff and whatnot. About more for them out there. Like we do this because we had to, not because I know it's like you hear like that rhetoric from almost every generation. It's like after these guys get the success, they realize, wait, no, if I've done this from the beginning, I wouldn't have to live that life. Like Dark Times, and appropriately titled Dark Times, it's him just reflecting on where he was and realizing where he could go from there. But it's eerie that the last track, why the sun won't come out, just sonically loops back into the intro track. But to me, it was I wouldn't say a very upbeat album, but there's a lot of introspection from Vince Staples, a great production, and I would recommend that to anybody. And for my number one, which I don't think would be a surprise to anybody.
Oh no.
That it is Kendrick Lamar's GNX. Because that project, from start to finish, no skips for me.
None.
And the whole the tone, I'll say like from Whacked Out Murals. I've been listening to a lot of these beats, right? And the Whacked Out Murals, what was getting is it is sound like a chopped and screwed kind of beat you'll hear Juvenile rap on. Not really screwed, but a chopped up beat you'll hear Juvenile on. That's like how Whacked Out Murals sound to me. Like is it like back that ass up and like
Oh yeah,
slow it down and
violins that zoom,
yeah,
zoom, 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 zoom. Yeah, you're right though. Yeah, you're right.
yeah. Then you go into Squabble Up where you have the what's the Debbie
Oh,
Dog?
I forgot
Debbie Deb.
that when I hear music, yeah.
Yeah. The old Debbie
And
Deb
it comes
sample.
in at just the right time though. Just the right time. Yeah.
But the funny thing and the thing is Gen X is a very West Coast album. And I wanna bring it back to
Unapologetically West Coast.
yeah,
I love that about the
yeah.
album too, yeah.
Bring it back to the whole thing I was talking about with Chupacabra, how he tapped into different West Coast sounds. Because I listen to Squabble Up and it just reminded me like, I wonder if anybody ever watched Breaking or Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. But I could hear
You know, it's one of those shows that I know I have to watch as a hip hop fan, but because they're real goofy, I don't know though, but I really do need to sit and watch those shows. But yeah, you're right. It does have a kind of a b-boy vibe
Yeah.
to it. Like the beat. There's something about the beat. There's something a little 80s with
Yeah.
the beat. Yeah.
this kind of retro funk stuff. And the thing is, anybody could go through the track and you could hear all these shots he took at whoever. But yeah, if I was Kendrick, I would have done the same thing too. I would stop it. I'd keep doing shots because what people didn't realize about this wasn't really a rap beef. This has been brewing up for like a whole decade. So when you have your victory, take your victory lap. So Luther, and this is where people realize Kendrick and SZA is a cheat code.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a cheat code.
Right.
Have the-
Also, as you mentioned, SZA, right? So you know we love SZA, right? But thank you so much for SZA for dropping your record like a day before we even met up to do this.
Yeah.
We ain't
'Cause
get no time. I ain't get no time to listen to
Me
nothing.
neither. 'Cause only thing I listened to was 30 for 30. That's the only thing I listened to.
Okay.
Yeah, because there was some shot at Oh Boy again. It's like, I'm all for that. Oh, Mardi Garden with the whole one mic feel.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This whole chat.
I want it all. I love that. Bitch, I want it all.
That's like the perfect song to start your morning. Like if you're about to go to work, about to go to the gym, like that's it. Hey, want to start the morning. Then the first mustard produced track. Hey now with 36. No, this is a sketch with this song. If people aren't used to listening to West Coast music, because I listen to a lot of West Coast. I listen to Shooter Gang, that's the One Take J, Mozzie, a lot of those guys. Like West Coast has a lot of different Bay Area sounds and whatnot. And I don't know who beefing with who and why different. Okay, I know some of that, but if you make good music, you make good music. Cause I listened to this Dolly 6, right? The first time I made him Dolly 6 on this, I just listened to the cadence how it came in, and I just listened. Wait, no, he and Kendrick had it back and forth, and then this guy just sliding. I was like, yo, who is this guy? Go look him up, check out his music. Like, oh, and then when you go on to like the other guys who feature I was like, oh, okay, you can see kind of time in Kendrick on, and this whole thing, where in the Squabble Up video where they had a little code like everything means something. This whole wave of him putting on US Coast guys, because a lot of these guys that he putting on are guys who like dealing with now coming out of jail, like dealing with some sentences and whatnot. Because I feel for Kendrick, how he saw what music did for him. He saw what music did for J-Rock. He saw what music did for Schoolboy Q. All these guys who probably, were very involved in the street life, and music took them out of that. Music was already part of their life, and music brought them to somewhere they never probably saw themselves. And that's why Kendrick has a song like Mardi Garden, because he knows where he came from. He knows where his friends came from. And if they say, alright, we could use this art form to take us out here, you'd feel a type of way when you reach into the industry and you realize people are cosplaying you all. the culture that you grew up in, the culture that you know to be part of your life. And when you look behind the curtain, you see a lot of these people pretending to be you all and getting rich off of being you all. And some of them, you know, don't even have the respect that they should for you, something you consider as part of your culture. So I kind of, understand the kind of moves Kendrick was making here. Right? We have Reincarnated, where he has this whole Tupac inflection, rapping from these different perspectives. Um, heard some people mention Billy Holiday or since John T. Booker. I'm not sure what was the artist's intent, but the most important part of that was the last verse, where it's like the whole personification of the devil through music. Because this whole thing where you look at, and I'll bring it back to the whole thing with Amy Winehouse. I love these artists that come into the forefront, that have their own demons to deal with, and it feels like it's like elevated when you have access to a lot of your vices. I think that's it. Because the first verse we're talking about greed, the second verse talking about the drugs. When he's talking about himself, and when God talks to the devil within him, it's like, no, your vice is you like war. You claim that you want peace, but you like violence, because we now saw what you did to that guy. Like you took the gloves off. And there's this whole thing about Kendrick looking at that is a scene that Kendrick is the artist making this introspective thing that he's doing, where, and this was the whole purpose of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Sometimes you need to get all those personal stuff out to get a better look at yourself. You get out your system, and now it's in front of you, and you could look at it and you could say, all right, this is what has been inside me all this time that I didn't see because I was watching from a certain perspective. So after he gets that out of the way, he goes back on the offensive with TV off. With TV off, right? One thing, as we spoke about earlier, this was tailor-made. It's obvious this was tailor-made for the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
All the inflections, all the certain words he used, the whole metaphors with Fiasco he play. He knew exactly what he was doing. And to close it off, he had Lefty gun play. Now, Lefty is the guy I am going to be looking at for this year coming, because I'll listen to some of his music, and I'd say it's not for everybody, but because I listen to a lot of West Coast artists, I know him, artists like him and X4, those guys are on the similar thing where I feel in another time where we talk, we'll say, I'll talk to you about this new wave of music that's coming out. It's a very interesting topic we should have. But yeah.
All right.
Lefty, Kendrick actually did the thing to just have him do a chant at the end, because I don't think Lefty going into mainstream just like that would be really accepted with his type of cadence and thing when he's rhyming. He's somebody you have to get used to hearing. For me, it's like for me, it took me a while to get into West Side Gun because of the voice and whatnot, and after a while, like West Side Gun became one of staples to listen to. Lefty, he isn't there bar wise yet, but I still hope from the situation he has, because his personality is really cool. He has a really cool personality. So from his interviews, he's a really cool guy. So I hope with this new eye on him, he'll work on his craft a little more, and use this trampoline he gets to really push forward. Because TV off is the biggest track out for the year so far, and
agreed.
And you are part of it, so capitalize on it. Because he dropped his project, Famous Gangbang at the same time Kendrick dropped GNX.
Yeah, I knew Lefty dropped something. I just didn't get the time to check it out. Yeah.
All right. After Dodger Blue, surprisingly one of my cruising tracks, because it's like.
Of course.
it's just smooth little bop. Did the one that the ride in the whip song. Peekaboo. Let me tell you why I like this song. Cause
Peekaboo.
yeah, Easy Cheek, Easy Chike, Chikey Cheese back on this to hear him on. I'm glad I heard him on the Blue Lips project first. So like, so good. I was very familiar with him. So when I hear my song, like, oh, okay, this is what you're doing. And he has a very memorable verse, some very memorable lines.
Oh yeah. I know you're talking about.
Yeah. But the fun thing about Peekaboo is like, oh, I'm back to. I'll not just jump back to the lefty gunplay thing. Or just you should get crazy, scary, spooky hilarious. That was an interpolation of a song that E40 had. I think it's Peekaboo. It's basically Kendrick doing one of his E40 impressions. It is EB area sounding song.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yes.
But I could hear E40 saying like what talking about nothing. And Peekaboo, I just put them burgers in my chain. Peekaboo, 8 points like a Kobe game. That sounds like something E40 would say.
Yes.
And you know Kendrick really loves E40. He had him at the do his intro at the pop out and whatnot. Yeah. Heart Part 6. Great storytelling song.
Yep.
Near
Oh,
one.
I forgot to mention too that SWV flip by. Ooh, we love that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Use your heart and not your mind. I love it. Love it.
And how he was able to tell that story about TDE and fill us in on the gaps of, because you know a lot of us were really waiting for that Black Hippie project. It was just a
me too.
if they just drop some with 5 tracks, 6 tracks, I'd be happy. But hopefully fingers could still be crossed, because once all them sell live, you know, anything happen. No, for the title track GNX. And I have a reason I want to talk about this song for a little while, because me and my friend John, we love this song.
Oh, dog, that beat though. I just, again, like I said in my review, that skipping beat, that do.
Because the beat sounds like it's reversed. For some reason.
Yes.
It's not like they made the beat and then they reversed it, chopped it up, and I was like, when you hear the beat coming, it's like, wait, what the hell are they gonna do on this song? So that's the first thing when you hear the beat and how like distorted and how crazy it sounds. It sounds very unhinged. Didn't know what to expect. And here Kendrick come in, it's like, okay, Kendrick ran the beat. And then all of a sudden, hey yo, on the dead ones, we'll treat the enemy go like some great clones. All my kills don't go like who said some red rum. All I think is once he hits come do my I've been rapping about this was. In the chat where I see Absco, Lem claim wins one's really pop, bro. Hey, I tell you, the ignorance on this song.
Yep. This is unapologetic, eh? That's what I love.
And like I said, when I was talking about on the Jason Martin project where he had Meet the Whoops, because Jay Willie on Meet the Whoops, and it's hitter J3, who is Kendrick's cousin. And I didn't realize.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You remember? You watch it pop out, right?
Yes, I did.
I know. While you're on stage, there's this tall guy who was always next to Kendrick.
What you had on?
Yeah, not jacket, right? Tall, and he's this tall guy with some short dreads, and he's always near Kendrick. I was trying to figure out who he was because he's looking like Daylight, but he's not Daylight. And it's only because of now looking into it, like, oh, that's here J3. I was like, wait, I've heard him before. And then I went back like, oh, he's on Meet the Whoops. Which is another, that's a West Side kind of group now. It's
a super group, right?
Yeah. So when Jet out about the suicide doors in the header, man, you don't want to see doors sliding on the caravan. You know who's the first artist that came to my mind? Juvenile.
Okay.
Just hear how he enunciates. 21 flag on my head like the Taliban, 25 feeling like the boxers full of sand.
Yes. Very Magnolia, that kind of like New Orleans style. Yeah.
They're like, and that was like something I found like really funny because these guys from the West Coast, they would listen because they were fans of Wayne. They were listening to the New Orleans stuff because New York has its own style, West Coast has its own style. These different regions have their own sound, but for some reason, Oh, some of these West Coast guys really that Hot Boy era sound, and
Yeah.
it passed on through generations. Because even in this new generation, where you have guys like NBA YoungBoy pulls heavily from that Hot Boy era. Then there's Young Threat, and I tell you, this is why I love this, because there are people who would.
I love how he flows on that, but it just has this kind of eeriness though, the way how he just rap though, this kind of like whispery kind of growl he have. Like, I love that.
Right.
I love that. That's how they close his song off. I love
Right,
that.
and I'll tell you who he reminds me of when he did that. Kick the Sneak. That's what I tell you.
Yes. Because I'll never forget, like when I heard Tell Me Where to Go, right? I was like, who's this guy talk about super happy?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
who's this guy? But it fit with the beat. Yeah, you're right. It does sound like Kick the Sneak. Yes, it does.
So like Kendrick made sure he wanted a very regional sound for this album, and then to close it off with
Gloria.
this beautiful but very disrespectful song. This beautiful but very disrespectful love song. You know it is.
Oh, it's my bitch. My bitch is my pen in her. I mean.
The thing about this song, right? This song is what I gotta say. Imagine somebody challenge you to a race, right? And you tell them you sure you want to do that? And they're watching it you're not really looking in shape or whatnot. It's but think let's race, because they think they could beat you. And then post while they're running, and then all of a sudden they say you picking up pace, and then they realize wait, where did that come from? And they realize they can't catch up with you because people taught you in the beef that Kendrick doesn't write fast. That's why a certain somebody is mocking him and teasing him, attempt to drop, because everybody was underestimating his pen, and certain I gotta say media personalities kind of helped that narrative, and it helped Kendrick's advantage. And after doing all that he did and having this victory lap album, why not a love song to my pen that I could not have done this without? This is like This is like you go up and you're giving your speech while you're holding your trophy.
Sorry, what is my I want to thank me. It's kind of like that. It's like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. And I tell you, and SZA, let me tell you why. To me, this is one of the most disrespectful songs. Because after you done hype up your pen, and then with that verse 3, where you had the old double entendre, right? Yeah.
Right. I get where you come from, and then SZA just kind of comes in with the Gloria.
Yeah. I want to take you to euphoria. I say, they're disrespectful. Hey. I was like, nah. It's that line. I was like, Kendrick, you're evil. I understand why everybody say you're the bad guy in this movie. Kendrick is the bad guy in this movie. And
I think he acknowledges that on the track too, Like he kind of calls himself out for it too. Like, the same power I have could kill, that could heal people, could kill people. Yeah.
There. What you say? Road them off. Rather see me hit the church and get religious. Who you fooling? You know what you're doing? You my contradiction. Remember when you caught that body and still wiggle through that sentence? It's like, yeah, you know exactly what he's doing. Demented.
I love it.
But yeah, I think like GNX, when that album dropped, I went through the first time, I was like, okay, I'm missing something. It's when I go through the second time and start picking together. I was like, oh, this sounds like that. I was like, and you're hearing all the, because remember, I ain't really going through all the entendres or whatnot. I just going through how it sounds. Like, oh, I'll get in some of these references from things. Because if I go back to the title of GNX, for Kendrick's hook, and there's I'll keep on coming back to my first thing, the Jason Martin. This is where I realized I won't say realized, but this was confirmed to me and know what Kendrick is doing. You see on his hook when he goes, Kendrick did like, wow, hi, have you ever been a joint and you know it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that like what is Jason Martin when he was problem. Problem featuring Bad Luck. Like what? And on every song, Problem like what? Because like Problem also, well, Jason Martin, he also dropped a 5-pack later, which has one of my favorite songs called Problem featuring Layla, who's, as I mentioned, album I started taking. On most of the songs, he dropped the like wah, because that's his Jason Martin, that's his thing now. Like wah. So when I hear Kendrick drop the like wah, I was like, oh, he giving the boy a shout out. I was like, oh, he giving a lot, like West Coast people a lot of shout outs throughout this album. Even certain people he kind of shout out, but kind of threw little hits to Ice Cube. Yeah. But on TV Off, where he did the big interpolation.
Yes.
Which is the
interpolation. One of the Kings in this rap thing with their siblings. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, which is that interpolation that Jay-Z also did, and Ice Cube as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and Kendrick, as they say, Kendrick, he hears everything. So I'm sure where he heard Ice Cube saying he was Kendrick before Kendrick, and I was like, okay. But I'm old ass first trying to convince you the okay. That's not my view. That's Kendrick's view. That's Kendrick's words, not mine. But yeah, and as they say, the man is on a mission. So I'm waiting to see what else he comes out with. I know everybody expecting Deluxe to drop.
Yeah, with not like us.
Yeah.
Somewhere, you know.
Because you already heard word that there's a lot of people confirming that there's a lot more music than this. But seeing that he's going on tour, I wouldn't expect it anytime soon. Because I business-wise, I wouldn't think he'll drop a Deluxe while on tour. Or he would. It's up to him. But I don't mind being surprised, as I was surprised when he dropped this. If he drop it anonymously or like out of the blue, whenever he drops it, once it drops, I'll be happy. But yeah, that has been my top 15 for 2024.
Nice.